Hello, it is us. We have returned.
Hello, Dan. How are you?
Hello.
Hi. Hey. Welcome to another episode of Explorers of Elsewhere.
This is us.
For a fleeting moment, I forgot what the channel was called. I am DM Dan. I remember that. And these are our beautiful cast. And you are our beautiful watcher. Hello. How are you lot? How are you players? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, personally. Can't speak for everyone else, but
Very excited.
Excited for
Yes.
another session.
New
I
worlds
found
to discover.
coins.
Ooh.
Yeah, Leif found coins.
Special
wow,
coins.
what a day.
What a day to be alive.
I think let's stop now whilst we're ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Session over. Bish, wash, wash. Done. We did some stuff and things. Who would like to carry on doing even more stuff and things?
Stuff and things sounds interesting.
Do it.
Amazing.
I'm up for stuff.
We're gonna
Think about
do
Yeah, things are. You know,
Oh, whose stuff and whose things?
Hey.
Nope. Edit that out.
right. Let us bless ourselves with the title screen, and we'll jump into it. The world has been broken and remade. Our civilizations are shattered, our people divided. Yet there are those who would rise up to challenge the encroaching darkness.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Sir Carmichael Comstock, a Lorivar Cavalier fighter.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm playing Addie, a keeper druid bard.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Victor, a Lorivar Gloomstalker Ranger.
Hi, my name's Lane. I'm playing Milia Sayralast, an Asavar Divine Soul Sorcerer.
My name's Tim, and I'm playing Galena, the Terran Sprite Alchemist Artificer.
And my name is Dan. I will be the Dungeon Master on this adventure. Whilst our world has been changed, we band together. Hope bright in our hearts. We push forward to reclaim what was once ours, and we shall be known as the Explorers of Elsewhere. In a world which has gone through such a cataclysmic metamorphosis, many have found themselves dropped into new circumstances, locations, and cultures they perhaps never seen before. There is an old saying, a simple one. Before the eschaton, many might utter it with a surprised smile or a frustrated frown on their face. Small world, they would say, as fate brings about an unexpected reunion. And so, one of our explorers finds himself experiencing how small the world can be, despite a geographical upheaval, meeting someone whose life in history is closer to home than he might have expected. Comstock has happened upon the woman who saved his life in a battle for the end of the world. Small world. However, the groundwork for a second unexpected reunion has reared itself. The dragon scent Atrak and the Majani Haladradis. Small world.
They didn't like each other. We recall.
And so, we rejoin our explorers, having rendezvoused with the explorers' caravan. So the last that you saw of it, Addie, they were packing up from the kind of the wooded campsite from the night before. You were tasked with trying to figure out where the others had gotten to, because they'd been away seemingly for the whole night. And you stumbled across them. You stumbled across a dragon scent and his kind of companion knight. Before finding the other explorers, there was a bit of a ruckus in a ruined temple, but you managed to make it out in one piece, and sure enough, rendezvous with the caravan that was weaving its way through some kind of gentle sloping hills. So, everyone has kind of readopted their kind of spaces on the caravans. Comstock is on the second caravan, along just behind that of Davin and Haladradis's kind of blue-topped cart. Milia and Addie find themselves kind of quietly, well, for Milia, probably dozing a little bit, getting a little bit of shut-eye. As Addie, you peer out the window every so often to check to see if the lumbering bear that everyone seems to have lovingly named Horse is kind of keeping up with the rest of the caravan. Galena, you find yourself in the front caravan. You've presumably, having chosen Comstock's potentially slightly better driven caravan cart because you've got some experiments going on, some delicate movements. But Victor, this is the first time that you've kind of travelled with the caravan as opposed to just, lurking around the caravan. Where have you placed yourself?
So it seems that Victor is with Frinka.
Okay.
And I can only imagine they're having a knot tying competition. Do you know this knot? You do?
Of course I do.
What about this one?
I learned that when I was a pup. I bet.
Okay.
I bet you don't even know some of the newer ones, like this one.
I do. Look at this.
Managed to hold down
Weirdest flirting ever.
3 mountain goats with this knot.
So they're basically just comparing all their outdoorsman skills because it's Ranger v Ranger, and that just goes on for hours.
Addie and Milia, you're kind of getting a little bit of quiet time, but how's Milia feeling?
I mean, assumedly, I'm still beaten up, bleeding a bit,
A little bit better.
exhausted. Panicking a little bit. Still, the entire stress of the situation, seeing how one of the straps came undone, seemingly when something happened. Still sort of coming down from the shock of that, honestly.
Sure.
And trying to hide it.
So, yeah, sure enough, one of the 3 kind of binding belts that wrap around the tome that's been with you all this time hangs loose, held in place only by the other 2 belts, which are still keeping the tome sealed. I mean, how are you feeling? Like, how's your disposition changed since? Well, as your mind flicks back to that strange conversation that you had with that kind of disembodied voice, that seems kind of on the edge of your memory, but every time you, almost when you feel like you can't remember it, the name Urixala floats back to the forefront of your mind. How are you feeling about that?
Terrified. I was keeping my distance because I didn't know. And that sort of almost like it's the start of the dripping tap, that if it comes off any further, it's just going to keep flowing. So every time the name comes back, I'm just like, no. And trying to push it back further and further away, but it just keeps coming back. So even more nervous, even more sort of on edge than I was before. I cannot even look Haladradis in the eye.
It's interesting you say that because, yeah, Haladradis gave you all a curt nod when you rendezvoused with the caravan and kind of jumped back into your respective carriages. But she's been kind of cloistered away in the front carriage since then. None of you have seen hide nor hair of her for the past few hours. So you rendezvoused kind of pretty early morning, and you've been traveling along these kind of gentle, almost like countryside routes for the better part of the day. You're well into the afternoon by this point. But Addie, you think back to the fact that you arrived in that kind of ruined temple and found Milia perilously close to death's door. But how are you thinking? Like, what's Addie thinking about Milia's more extreme concern, fear?
Addie has been sort of, when a friend is going through a really bad time.
Yeah.
But you can't relate to that bad time. So there's kind of this pregnant silence between you where you want to offer a word of comfort, you want to reach out and help, but you don't really know how or what to say. So she's just been stealing furtive glances towards Milia, maybe even going to sort of say something and then sort of pulling back and frowning. So she finally plucks up the courage and Milia, I saw your book. The straps, it looks damaged.
Yes.
I think I have something that might be able to fix it. Do you want me to give it a go?
Okay.
Okay. Is it okay if I touch it briefly? Just the strap.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold it out, still like holding on to the end, but.
And Addie furtively reaches over and touches the strap and casts mending.
What does that look like?
The woven bracelets that she has on her hands sort of start to come apart slightly, and the vines sort of snake down her fingers and begin to wind themselves around the broken clasps of the strap, sort of bringing the two ends together and weaving until they almost become the fibers of the strap themselves.
Sure. Milia, so you're holding the kind of the black covered tome, and as Addie kind of weaves this primal magic, and you see the two halves of the belt kind of pulling up and then kind of beginning to entangle and twist together into a single piece. And Addie, you kind of pull your hands away as the spell finishes, and you kind of you regard the good job that you've done. And Milia, as you kind of let out a sigh of relief, as you watch as the belt seemingly starts to fray, almost like the stalks, the stems of a plant that's being drained of moisture, and they begin to peel apart and fray and twist and crack, and with a snap, the belt breaks in two again.
I was afraid that would happen.
And you notice that sort of like the greenish, the healthy looking greenish fibers that you'd cast kind of seemingly lose their luster, go brown, go grey, and almost crumble away.
Oh. Well, that's never happened before. I'm guessing that's not a normal book, is it, Milia?
It's not, no.
I'm very sorry that it got damaged. I've noticed you haven't been... You seem off. ever since we got you out of that place. You know, is everything all right? I'm always here if you want to talk about it.
Back in Glasmere, all I was a locksmith. I never asked for these powers. I never asked for this to be blessed by whichever dragon decided to do so. I never asked for it. And the way it happened, and almost dying again, if anything happens to me, don't destroy the book. Okay? I have no love for it. I hate it. But if any sort of harm comes to it, terrible things are going to happen. That's why I've always held it so close.
That sounds like a terrible burden you bear. But you don't have to bear it alone. You have us. And we're here to help you as best we can. We're here to support you. And I promise that I will never let anything happen to that book if I can help it. And I hope that I never let anything happen to you either. None of us want anything to happen to you, Milia.
Thank you.
I don't know what the circumstances that brought you to us have not been favourable, but I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to have met you.
And are you?
So, while this is happening, Galena, your brow is furrowed as you desperately try to concentrate, despite the loud, grating snoring coming from the caravan guard that normally drives this cart, who's currently taking a 3 p.m. nap.
She'll be so lucky.
She'll be so lucky. And Comstock, how have you felt since rejoining the caravan, since your chance encounter with Carla?
I mean, Carla hasn't bothered him very much. He's happy to find out that she's doing well. He meant what he said to her about trying to make his title mean something. But it's the words of Atrak that's been sticking with him. And I kind of imagine he's been sitting at the front of the car, his helmet sitting next to him. He's got some like trail jerky out. He's just chewing it while riding, staring into the caravan before them. So like, I imagine it's got a little like muslin curtain so we can see like Halajanus walking around. He's just muttering himself and saying, "What are you up to? What is going through that head of yours?"
In which case, Galena, your brow is furrowed because not only is there the buzzsaw sound of a snorer next to you, but Comstock is mumbling just loud enough for you to hear.
Wonderful.
What sort of spells have you weaved over him?
I mean, throughout the last few hours that we've been on the road, there have been a few times. So I've been just dripping from a pipette various different liquids onto the little tiny shards of the mana crystal and kind of furiously making notes. But there have been several times when the vial has slipped out of my hand onto the floor, or I'm spilling things, and Galena just keeps ranting about can't you just make sure you're driving this thing properly, Comstock?
I'm driving it perfectly fine.
Given that you are quite insightful and that you know you are driving it perfectly fine, you've probably noticed it's because her hands are shaking a little. She's also considering whether she has anything that will put the guard into a temporary coma of some sort. But has disregarded that as probably impractical.
I imagine that Comstock's sitting there mumbling stuff, and suddenly he just and just like embers like come out his mouth, still like little sparks are coming out his mouth, and he's like, "Galena, how long is this thing meant to last? Like, it's not as potent as it was, but it's making my mustache bristle. It's making my mustache bristle."
You say meant to. It's not. What it's meant to do is go into your special little tummy, and then I find out what happens. Really, it's fascinating. It's going on this long. Thought it'd be done by now.
It's not as potent as it was, but it's still. And this way, sort of turns around finally to see you, and he's. I guess a perception check maybe in order to see the ever so slight tremble in the hands.
It's more than noticeable.
It's more than noticeable.
Yeah, I think probably you've already noticed it before this point. I think when you're actively looking at me, I'm making more of an effort to seem very stoic.
She stops the hand shaking and the body just goes.
Just gently vibrates.
Tapping of the foot, like.
But, yeah, I think just be like.
He shifts over. He's like, "Join me at the front. Come on."
All right.
Your experiments can
Probably
wait
with
for
a break.
a moment.
Yeah, the air back here is getting a little bit. Woo! Yeah, probably get some fresh air.
Yes.
So
might steady your nerves a little.
Yeah, it's very used to this by now. So what was it like seeing someone from before?
It was good seeing her again. I mean, if it hadn't been for her, once I took my wound, if it hadn't been for her, I would probably lay there in a mud, caught an infection, and ended up dying at some point. So we fought hard side by side during the Battle of Heukelstadt, but if it hadn't been for that, hadn't been for Kara, I may have been dead. That brought me joy, but to know that she gave up so easily. But then it means nothing to everyone else. I'm the only one that seems to give a damn about it.
You gotta keep that fire, Comstock. It's all that'll keep us going. We all die 2 deaths. One when we shuffle off this mortal plane, and one when we stop trying and stop caring.
Very insightful. Thank you.
Look, I think I owe you a bit of an explanation.
Okay.
I know I put you all at risk back there. But if I have to pick between you and my girl, it can't be you.
What do you mean by your girl?
These crystals, during the war, something terrible happened to our town. And my daughter is very sick. And has been for a long time. I think this might be what I need to help. It's not a normal sickness, it's something strange, different, magical. I think this might be my only chance.
Oh, good leader, I'm so sorry. I wish you had told me sooner.
Well, don't want to bring down the party.
No, but had I have known, I'd have grabbed as many crystals as you needed.
You're a good man, Comstock. make something of you yet.
I hope so. And if you ever need us to do anything ridiculously stupid again for your girl, don't ask. Just know that I'll help you any way I can.
Oh, you know me, Comstock. I need people to do ridiculously stupid things on a daily basis. Think we'll manage.
Can I share a secret with you? It's not anything as near personal as what you told me, but it's something that I feel you and I agree on.
I'll briefly look back to make sure that the guard is still obnoxiously asleep.
He is.
Cool. Yeah, of course.
So our dragon-sent friend knew more about Halatranus than he let on.
Yeah, thought there was something a little bit odd with him.
He very much knows who she is. And he looks towards the front caravan and back, and he says she is very, very dangerous.
Wouldn't really have thought she's got the magical chops to be that dangerous. I mean, she shows off, but like, I got her magicked into a corner.
That's what I fear. Maybe she's not showing us who she really is. It's very simple for me to lure someone in a fight, make myself look more frail than I am, quiver a little with my shield. It leads someone to a full sense of confidence, and then, bip, shield to the face.
Who am I trying to fool? No. She scares me a little.
As she I.
But, keep an eye on her. And, worst comes to the worst, you just hit her in the back of the head with a, bit of wood.
A cutting plan.
Thanks, that's why I, went to university.
I realize I was slightly rude there. What is your girl's name?
Oh, Agate.
Agate. I shall
But,
remember.
I'll probably mention her to the others when I get a chance, but, yeah, I don't like to talk about it too much. It's,
Understandable.
hard.
I understand. And I appreciate you telling me. I do.
Anyway, back to doing some wacky, crazy science.
I'll try to keep the caravan steady.
You'll be fine. But if that guard snores one more time, he's bouncing down the road, I tell you.
So,
Shut the fuck.
as you all kind of take this opportunity to relax and get a bit of a breather, if you haven't already, you will gain the benefits of a long rest.
Ooh.
Hey.
And the caravan continues on for a little while, and during one of the breaks, sort of like the caravan comes to a stop, and you find yourselves sort of like able to kind of jump off the carriages, stretch your legs a little bit. And Comstock, you notice the sort of like the back doors of the front carriage swing open, and the orange-robed Majani wizard steps out somewhat delicately. She grabs kind of almost turquoise-ish metal staff, and she kind of gives you a slight nod as she sees you watch her step out, and you see her head down the caravan. Addie, Milia, Victor as well, you see this Majani wizard walk past you, and she seems to walk to the back of the middle of the caravan, to the carriage that contains the two goblin twins, Knock and Bok. And you see her having some sort of kind of somewhat terse conversation with them before she Tuts visibly rolls her eyes and just kind of strides off the path a little bit, just away from the caravan, where she just kind of loiters. But in this opportunity to get a little bit of a run around, Addie, Milia, what do you do?
Addie's very curious by this, so I am going to go and transform into a fly and be a literal fly on the wall. First I'm going to go to Knock and Box caravan and just sort of perch just inside the window to see if they're discussing what they've just spoken to Haladradis about.
Sure. I can't do a fly, but I can do a spider.
Oh,
Flying spider.
Oh.
Yeah. But no, you can definitely turn into a creature small enough to do a little bit of snooping.
Yeah. Would I be able to get on there from my caravan?
Yeah, I mean, well, if nothing else, if you'd be able to skitter up either one of the horse's legs or kind of up on the wheels, or like you can certainly get close enough to the carriage, like to hear what's going on inside. Okay. And as you peer in, Milia, you watch as Addie and then just shrinks, and like you see 6 eyes sprout across her face as she shrinks in size, and like her fingers split apart into 8 limbs, and she just this grotesque metamorphosis as this 7-foot-ish tall keeper shrinks to a teeny tiny little spider, and out she goes. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen Addie actually wild shape before,
nope.
But
I can only imagine that's Millie's reaction as well, just sitting there like, nope. I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Addie definitely would have said anything either. She definitely would have just done it, assuming that everyone already knew.
Amazing.
Oh my god.
So, Addie, you get to the goblin cart.
Oh, look at her.
And as you kind of skitter up the side and kind of peer in through one of the slotted windows, you can see Knock and Bock stood with their backs to you, and they've got their arms folded, are like shoulders high, and they're going. You can hear one of them going. You're not sure which. It's one of them going. I mean, certainly a little bit of mold. Yeah, mold never really hurt anyone, right? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Yeah. I mean, she's right though, isn't she? Yeah. There's not much left. Yeah, we're nearly out of food, aren't we? Yeah, we're nearly out of food. You think she knows where she's going? No. You? Nah. We're buggered, aren't we? Yeah. And then the goblins just kind of shrug, and then you see them just kind of sifting through, and it's clear that this is the supply cart. What you also notice is amongst the boxes and the sacks and the whatnot, there appears to be a large ballista type weapon. It looks like a crossbow, but it's roughly the size of one of the goblins. But actually, yeah, give me a nature check.
Can do indeed. That is a 21.
So, as you watch and you think to yourself, the caravan has supplies. Like, you made some time taking the high pass. The scouts, like Frinker and the rest of the scouts, have been really good at bringing back supplies. So, for them to say that you're nearly out a little bit more, like, that's just wrong. But you watch as one of the goblins kind of throws a bag of grain, presumably, off to the side, and it splits a little. and you notice that what pours out looks utterly rancid.
Oh.
Weirdly. You've been on the road a while, but it's not like it's gotten wet. It's not like it's been kept in unfavorable conditions, but it is rancid. And you just about manage to, like, you're the goblin, one of the goblins decide onto you, and you see him visibly kind of pull a face and just kind of brush the rancid grain with his boot as if trying to hide it, and then like puts another sack over the top of it to hide it.
Is it mold? Is it normal mold? Does it look normal to me? Does it look what I'd expect mold to look like?
It looks blighted.
Would Addie think it was safe to maybe see if she could pick some up in her spider form? Potentially like wrapping a cocoon of like web around like a little sample.
Give me a
Spidey
stealth check.
A what, sorry?
A stealth check.
A stealth check. As a spider?
As a spider, so if you add +3 to your roll, because you're on a -1 dex normally.
Okay.
Imagine there's this tiny little spider, this huge grain, just like...
So a normal...
Oh wait, you have proficiency as a spooder, so that's another 2, so 17. Okay. Of course they don't see you. Okay, so Knock and Bot go like they're singing like little tunes. They're singing two slightly different tunes to one another. As they're just like rearranging stuff in this supply. And you see one of them pick up, like grab the handles of that kind of big crossbow looking thing, and he's just like, oh, what I give. And his brother turns and, Bok, put that down, Bok. But whilst they're distracted, you manage to like down the wall and grab some of the bits of grain, and like they're soft and pulpy under your legs. But yeah, you're able to sort of like wrap it and just kind of carry it out like an ambulance helicopter, just with it trailing behind you on some silk. Yeah, you certainly managed to grab some of the grain. So as you make your escape, Victor.
Yes.
You've noticed. So the caravan stopped. Frinker's jumped out, and she informs you, super casual. I'm just going to do a little run. I'll probably get a couple of miles in before we start. If you want to join, she says, like giving you a look that says, "I don't think you could keep up with me."
Bow chicka wow wow.
You know what? I did a run this morning actually, so I'm good for today. But maybe tomorrow.
Sure. I'll see how I'm feeling, because I'm planning on doing at least 3 more runs today. She says, and she just sort of like starts running off, keeping an eye on you as she goes.
She doesn't need a run. She needs a cold shower.
But yes, she kind of makes off. You've noticed that Haladradis has kind of veered off. You can see out the front of your carriage that Comstock and Galena are in the cart in front. What do you do?
Probably needs to be. We'll go to Milia, and he'll jump up. Hello.
Hello.
How are things going here?
Just resting. I'm okay.
Perfect. Where's your keeper friend?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. It's a 1,000-yard stare for a few seconds before. She turned into a spider?
A spider?
And Victor looks down to make sure he hasn't stepped on one.
Oh, that's complicated. Do you know why?
No.
Perfect.
She didn't say anything before she did it. She just was sitting there, and then she turned into a spider.
Okay. Were you being good company or were you being rude or something?
Wait, Alexardis walked past, and then she turned into a spider. Oh no.
You know it's a bad first date if your date just turns into a spider.
Nope.
It's happened to me way more times than you think.
I won't date druids anymore. That's the last time.
Druids, I know. That's how they go.
But yes, Milia did say it's when Haladranus walked past.
I guess Victor will just have a quick look at Haldranus. Is she going to the loo or doing some other stuff?
She is. She stood about 50-ish feet away from the caravan.
Yeah.
And you see that the staff that she's nearly always with is currently sort of like perpendicular to the ground and just floating a few inches off the ground. Just kind of rotating ever so slightly, and you can see the sort of like the late afternoon evening light reflecting off the gem on top, like the round orb. And she appears to just kind of be flicking idly through a rather impressive looking tome of some sort. And looking at her, you realise that in your past, how often would you reckon you would seen a wizard, like a fully fledged wizard?
Rarely. Maybe once a year.
Sure. I mean, in which case, there's a moment where you look at the book that she's flicking through, and like, if you kind of squint and peer, you can just about make out these kind of archaic-looking symbols. You think maybe they're draconic or something along those lines, but it just dawns on you the raw, from what you've heard, the raw destruction that a wizard can wreak with a book. And like, you've got a gun, you've got a firearm rifle, but like the stories you've heard of wizards laying waste, like during the war, there are wizards that laid waste to armies and cities. And
Lilia,
they do it from a book.
Yes.
are you and her the same type of wizard, or are you different types of wizard? I don't really know how it works.
I have never studied magic in my life. Does that help?
So, what's the book for? That one.
It's something that I have to take away a very long way away from any sort of civilization.
Sounds ominous. I'm gonna go talk to Comstock.
Okay.
Just walks off.
Oh, if I haven't mentioned it already, Anton, I love Victor.
His vibe is impeccable.
He doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks, and I love it.
You watch perplexed as this old man, very good, and then leaves.
If you thought your first date was bad, turning to spider, this one's gone
You got
way worse.
That's a good way of
I
ending the
think
first
he
date.
just started to
Ominous.
catch. I think age is starting to catch up with him a little bit.
100%.
Okay, so as Victor's heading up, Comstock Galena, how are you spending your quick break?
I'll swing on down. I'm planning on following up on Haladranus. But bumping into Vic's coming the other way, it's like, Vic! How have you been, lad?
good. Had a little nap. Feel good. How about you?
Yeah, long day on the road. Listen, lad, thanks for your help back there.
You're welcome. I feel like we all needed a bit of help.
We're sure we're going to again. But, you and your immaculate moustache are welcome anytime.
You're most kind. You are very brave, you know that.
Well, there's brave and there's stupid. And I'm brave, don't you get it wrong.
I don't doubt it. Comstock!
Anyway, I've got wizards to stalk.
Oh, true. Do you know what she's doing over there?
Not yet.
Go and spy.
So, go on, Comstock.
Victor, I have a moment. I was just going to go see Dram, but...
You know what? I'm so sorry. I completely forgot about it.
Forgot about what?
My gun! I forgot to give it back to you. Here, take it.
He takes it for a moment, looks at it, it's like...
Hold on to it. Keep it away from the rain, and we'll be good. If
Listen.
the dragon comes, I might ask for it again.
Victor. Bluntly, I may not trust you 100%, but everything that happened in the temple, everyone made it out. So, for the time being, I see fit for you to keep your own weapon on you, and I appreciate you following the rules. But, here, I return it.
Okay, I appreciate it. You're a good man, Comstock. I like you.
I guess he slaps him on the back.
Comstock just gives him a cursory pat on the shoulder and is like, keep doing what you're doing, Victor, and I'm sure you and I will see eye to eye. Well, eye to eyes in this case.
No problem.
As you were.
Comstock, as you glance over as you head to the front carriage, you see Galena sort of like creeping behind the trunk of a large tree that the caravans are parked by. But yeah, as you make it to the front carriage, you can see through kind of the diamond slotted windows. You can see Davin Dram, and he seems to be busying himself doing something, and every so often kind of making no.
Comstock knocks hard on the side of the caravan door.
Hello.
Lord Dram, it's I, Sir Carmichael Comstock. May I come in?
Yes, Comstock. Sir Comstock. Yes, yes. Please come in. Yes.
He opens the door. Appreciate you adding the sir. It's very, very important we get each other's names right, isn't it, Lord Dram?
Yes.
Listen, I have a question for you. A matter of our situation at the moment, our setup in the camp. Obviously, you yourself are the leader of this expedition, are you not?
I am, and as he says that, he takes the small sort of like nose bridge glasses he's wearing and tucks them into wraps them in a little cloth and pokes it into his top shoulder, his breast pocket. Yes.
Evidently, Frinker is our tracker. She's the one who's paving the way, our pathfinder, if you will. She's guiding us in the directions we need to go. That is correct, is it not?
Of course, yes.
Nock and Brock, obviously our quartermasters, looking after our food supplies, our wood supplies, keeping us. Again, would you agree with this?
Now you say it like that, I suppose that is what they are here for. Yes.
And Haladranus is your advisor? I'm still not completely sure what her role is on this.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. No, she is the advisor for the expedition.
Marvelous. And with all these ones, I'm noticing a severe lack of one very important thing in a caravan. I'm sure you may have noticed it as well, have you not?
His eyes open wide, and it is clear he does not know what is missing from this expedition.
Not that I wish to be trying to reach above my station, but there is no one who is your captain of guard. You've fundamentally given me the responsibility of looking after everything, but I don't have the rank to go with it. And you're making...
Fine. It's fine. Haladradis does that as well. She's a wizard, don't you know?
Yes, but unfortunately, wizards aren't exactly seen as the most trustworthy of folk. Nothing against Haladranus, but history
It's absolutely fine, Sir Comstock. She's one of the good ones.
Yes, I'm not disputing that. However, unfortunately, in a more military sense, you're wanting someone with a military background to be commanding your troops. What happened in the camp with the beast was, pardon my French, but a flustercluck.
Well, I mean, I'll have to take your word. I think I hit my head during all the confusion. I didn't wake up until after everything had happened. I don't quite know exactly what had happened, but no, I appreciate your concerns. It's absolutely fine. You see, Haladradis was actually one of the commanders of one of the Iron Legions.
Fascinating, I'm sure.
Yeah, but one of the reasons why she was here is that she was sent specifically. She masterminded many assaults on the Akani forces.
He leans forward and is
won
like,
many battles.
Lord Dram.
Yes.
Military people prefer to be led by military people. Haladradis does not strike me as a military person. She strikes me as a very powerful wizard who was put in charge of an army. That's all good and well at all, but push comes to shove. I would feel much happier that the safety of this caravan was put in charge of someone with a military background.
I see.
And someone who will sit on the meetings to make decisions as a security person.
I see. Who did you have in mind? Make me a persuasion check.
Persuasion check, that's a 16.
Okay. Who did you have in mind?
Well, evidently a knight, the only knight you have in your employ. Myself.
You see the Lorivar blush as he realizes he's not read this room. And you're in. Why, yes, that just works perfectly, doesn't it? That sounds great. Yes, absolutely. I think what I'll do. She said she was going for a little bit of a walk. So when Haladradis comes back, I'll let her know that you're going to be the security of the guard of the whole caravan. You're going to look after the security and all the guards, and it's going to be grand. And then she can focus on advising me in the position of advisor.
And I would also appreciate being involved in any decisions that you make, as I would be somewhat the connection between you and everyone else.
Oh, we'll have to speak to Haladradis about that. I mean, she makes all the decisions.
Lord Ram!
Yes.
Are you not in charge of this caravan?
Well, yes, I'm paying for it.
Well, then surely you get to make the decisions, do you not?
No. I just pay for it.
So you're not the leader of this caravan, are you?
No, I am, because I pay for it.
So make a decision. As the leader of the caravan.
I think we're getting mixed wires here, Sir Comstock. No. I pay for it, so therefore I'm the leader, and Haladradis makes all the decisions. That's what. Yeah, that's how it works.
I see. You seem to have this all under control. I just hope that it goes the way you're intending it to go there, Lord Dram. Like, when all's said and done, you're happy with the decisions that you, as leader, made.
Yes, I think we're doing marvelously. We've had a few faux pas, had a few hiccups along the way, but I mean, it's just one horse, so yeah, we've got quite a lot of horses actually.
Yes, I'm wondering.
I think we're doing very well.
One horse is fine. Let's just hope it isn't a person's life, eh? And he taps him on the shoulder. I'll await your decision.
Wait, what do you mean, someone's life?
Well, ergo my point. If anything happens to anyone, Milia almost died.
Did she?
Did Haladradis not tell you? My goodness. Poor Milia almost died because of a decision that your advisor Haladradis made.
Well, I'm sure there were reasons.
Yes.
But
a horse got stolen. That was
Yes,
reasons, yes.
Absolutely, exactly. I mean, if you happen to, if you see her before I do, make sure you pass on my thoughts and wishes to Milia for her speedy recovery.
Of course, I shall.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, the head of security.
Captain of the guard, if you will. It's has more of an authoritative ring, don't you think?
Yes, that sounds much better. Yes.
Yes. Good day, Lord Ram.
Ta-ra!
As he sees
You
Victor
know-
away.
He's right. He pays for it, so he is the leader.
Oh, Davin fucking sucks.
So, whilst this is happening, sorry, go on, Anton.
I was gonna say, congratulations on your promotion, Comstock.
Well, we'll see if it sticks.
Galena, you are currently sneaking through the undergrowth of this tree. You're small
Sure
enough
am.
that you are almost able to. What do you do?
Well, briefly consider trying to climb the tree to get a better view. No, that's not going to happen. Fine. Just from here, can I get any idea of what she's up to? Like, you said she looked like she was casting something potentially.
Roll me. Roll me a perception check. No. An arcana check.
Oh, thank God, that's so much better for my perception. Sweet.
Hey!
Oh, 26! It's not 12, so much arcana.
Much
Okay.
arcana.
So off the back of a 26, you try to intone what she's saying, but the words themselves are kind of, there's no kind of direct translations to the syllables, the noises that she's making. They are just kind of arcane words of power. But you do notice that the magic that's kind of emanating off her is decidedly evocation based. And she appears to be, like, as she whispers and she's got the book in one hand, you notice her pull a strand of thin metal from sort of like the crease between the two pages, like up in her fingers, and then she twists it and folds it as she starts kind of saying words very slowly, calmly, and deliberately. And as she finishes, give me a perception check.
Okey-doke. That is less good. Let's see what we got. 5.
So
Aw.
you hear her intone the words of power, and then you notice that she switches seemingly to common, but you can't hear what she's saying. She's almost whispering into this thin rolled up wire she's got between her finger and thumb. It's like she's whispering something into it. And then as she finishes, she opens her palm up and the wire transforms into a small mote of light, and you watch as it flies off into the sky. Off the back of your crit arcana, you know that she just cast Ascending, but you don't know what she said.
Interesting. Alright, I'm gonna try and in quite a low stakes way creep up on her.
Sure. So yeah, you see it like she's looking skywards, watching this mote just kind of disappear off into the distance, and after a while it just kind of dissipates into mana. And as she turns around,
Holly! What you up to out here?
she
Thought
regains-
you'd died.
she
Thought
regains
Dram
her
was just
composure.
carting your body around.
Hello, Galena. Are you well?
How you doing? You're looking a bit pale.
She looks to you, and she can't quite tell if you're making a jab at Majani's, or if you just caught her by surprise. But you startled me, is all.
Ah, that'd be the height. Easy to miss. What you up to?
Just getting a bit of fresh air.
I'll give her a very flat look and be like, come on, Hallie, come on.
Sometimes it's good to step away from the lead cart. He has good intentions, but
he's an idiot.
Davin, as you interrupted by saying that, she like purses her lips, and he can ask a lot of questions.
Yeah,
she
comes with the territory, I suppose. The kind of stuff that we dabble in tends to be fascinating to people who don't.
Absolutely. She looks up from you towards the cart behind you, and how is Milia?
Haven't checked in on her in a minute. Seems okay, just a bit rattled. Being weird about that book again, but I think she always is, so.
Has she told you what the nature of the book is? You seem to have gotten on quite well with her.
We didn't pry too much, to be honest. She's like a scared little dove or something, you know? If you go too quickly, she'll just flutter away, so.
It would be interesting to find out. Perhaps it is a family heirloom or a token of sentiment that she clings to it so closely.
Could well be, or some sort of spell tome. I know she doesn't really cast that way, but who can say? We've all got our little secrets, haven't we?
Halajardis looks to you now with a relatively flat face, a flat look, and
I will smile at her as innocently as I can muster.
When we make camp, I would love to hear from you and your companions what you found. I hear that rumblings and whispers that you found some sort of ruin. I would be intrigued to find out if there was anything of interest held within.
Yeah, strange one that. Old dragon temple, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Still, we'll catch you up in a bit. By the way, I did mean to just pick your brain at some point whether you know anything about these mana crystals that have been popping up.
She takes a breath, and I had my assumptions that you would find them of interest. But yes, the mana crystals are something which the colleges are keeping a close eye on.
Ah, those colleges. You in contact with them then?
I haven't for some time.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out some fascinating things together.
Yes, I would be wary of them. They are undiluted, crystallized arcane mana. This is not filtered or controlled much in a scholarly or wizardly way. They seem. One hypothesis is that they seem to be travelling along the ley lines of mana which arc through elsewhere, but the ley lines are now disrupted after the eschaton. I imagine that they hold great power. Some have suggested that that is the blood of Akan itself, for those more superstitious.
I don't think they flow too well. That'd probably hurt.
Precisely.
Ooh, that's an idea.
Oh my god.
Good idea. Blood poison. I'll get back to you on that one.
What? Okay.
I'll guess I'll start scurrying away.
Well, she upsettingly for you, she follows you back to
Oh
the
God!
caravan. And she walks alongside you.
I'll kind of get in lockstep with her as though this is what I meant to do.
Yeah, you seem to be doing quite a lot of experimentations within your cart. I say again, when we have the opportunity, I would love to see what you're discovering out here. This is a new frontier, after all.
Certainly. Although mostly what I'm just discovering at the moment is new blisters and bruises on my arse.
Yes, the life of the wanderer, of the traveller, can be a hard one indeed. Greetings, Sir Comstock.
Just a moment there, Lady Haladranus. And he bangs on the side of the caravan. Willis, wake up!
I'm awake.
Willis, would you mind doing me a favour? Would you mind disseminating down amongst the rest of the troops? All military decisions are now going through myself, Captain Sir Carmichael Comstock.
You hear the voice from the inside of the carriage. Have you run that past Aladradis? Because I can't imagine she'd be too happy about that.
Lord Dram has made the decision. It is done.
The Majani
Congratulations, Comstock.
Thank you, Galena. Lady Haladranus, I'm sorry. I was meaning to talk to you in a moment. Willis, if you please get all the troops informed.
Just hear some grumpy noises, and then this caravan guard falls out the back of the carriage, and
There's a lieutenant position going.
Oh, and he pulls his trousers up.
Can I apply for that?
You can, Victor. It doesn't seem like Willis wants it.
So yeah, Willis kind of scurries off, back in, weaving through the caravan. And Haladradis has said nothing, but she tilts her head to the right ever so slightly.
Yes, Lady Haladranus, I mean to say, I will be taking the military responsibilities away from you now, giving you more free time to focus on the things that matter. I would be respected that if you have any pressing decisions, you let me know, okay?
And this is the decree of
Lord Ram himself. Yes, he's going to speak to you about it shortly. Although I fear that any miscommunication at this point would be quite dangerous. I mean, as you've seen, the troops are now being informed. If suddenly everything changes again, why, that's just anarchy, isn't it?
Yes, I could imagine the fallout would lead to a second eschaton.
I'm sure it would. Don't let me keep you. Just give me a shout when there's any military decisions that need to be made or anything to do with the security of the caravan. And he takes his helmet out from under his arm, slides it on his head. Good day, Lady Haladranus.
Her lips purse again, so slightly. She closes her eyes, and then when she opens them, she's kind of got the facade back up. Good day, Captain Comstock.
Sir still works.
She does not respond, and she walks past you.
And Comstock's smile then just sort of fades into more of a sort of...
At that point, as she's about to get into the front carriage, she turns, and it looks like she's about to shout at the caravan, and then she stops herself, looks to you, Comstock, and if you could let everyone know that the caravan's about to move on now.
It would be my pleasure, my lady.
And she steps back into the coach. You hear, oh, hello, Haladradis. There's something I need to tell you. As the door's closed. And as you, Galena, Comstock, Victor, as you watch the gates close, Addie, you're spidering away. Are you heading back to the cart with Milia and de-spidering?
Actually, Addie's going to make a beeline for Galena. Can she see her?
Given the amount of time it's taken, it makes sense. And like your little legs, like
yeah.
So you skitter
Oh,
along.
hello, little thing.
Galena, yeah, you notice a somewhat friendly spider just kind of sat on the grass next to you, looking up.
I
It
wonder if
appears
I
to
can
be.
get hold of those venom sacs of
It
yours.
appears to be dragging. It appears to be dragging what looks like a bit of grain wrapped in a silky cocoon.
Hmm.
If I'm like a little bit away from Galena, I'm gonna sort of raise one leg and sort of do a gesturing motion and sort of
I'm
run
like
off
halfway. I'm halfway through, like getting a cup to put over you, and then I'm like, okay.
And then I'm gonna skitter off a little bit, just out of like the main sort of, where anyone can hear us in the caravan, and look back. And if Galena's not following, I'm just gonna raise a little spider arm and go again and sort of skitter off a bit more.
I think you should do the YMCA dance.
with all 8 legs at once.
Yep, too many fumes again. Well, here I go.
And as soon as we're out of sort of eye line of the carts, I'm just gonna transform back into Addie. And without sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Galena, one of the most horrendous transformations you've ever seen unfolds before you as this spider just starts swelling at an alarming rate. But as it does, it's like carapace starts changing hue, and like its arms, its legs just like twist and contort and start merging together until sort of like the abdomen shrinks, goes furry, and then begins to rapidly elongate until it turns into Addie's little tail.
Nope.
Oh, very anthropic polymorph. Oh, amazing! I've always wanted to see one of those.
We've just without missing a beat. As soon as I've got my mouth back to speak, Galena,
There's
I
a
think
point where you see Addie's mouth.
The mandibles go
Mandibles.
we've got a problem.
Well, I'm
And
going to be having nightmares about that later. What's up?
I hold out the little tiny sack of grain. I've just been doing a bit of espionage, and we're fucked. All of our food is about to run out. I think the grain stores are blighted.
All of it? What about those little cake bars?
All of it.
Ah, fuck!
Yeah, I don't think it's been this knowledge has been released to anyone else. Only Knock and Bock know. But
They've been left in the rain or something. It's not been raining.
I don't know. I managed to swipe this. I know it's not much, but the mold that's growing on it doesn't look right. It looks blighted, and I know you're good with stuff. I thought maybe you could have a look at it and see if there's anything we can do to stop the spread, or to reverse it, or I don't know. Be careful. I've wrapped it as best as I can, but there's only so much a tiny spider can do.
My ecology's not been forte, but I can certainly take a look. Sure. To the Galena lab.
Okay. As you shout that, you hear Comstock kind of bellow out that the caravan's beginning to is due to leave again. So Addie and Galena should kind of give each other nods of acknowledgement and kind of jump in your respective carts. And with a sharp whistle, the caravan begins moving again. Let's go for a 10-minute break.
Okay.
See you in a bit.
Enjoy the stinger.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Comstock, could I ask you a quick question?
Of course you may. What is it?
So, a couple of people have been asking, And I'm kind of wondering myself, but why don't you have armor on your shins?
Seriously? Is that what people are most interested in? Nothing about the mystery of the plot or the true intentions of those in the caravan?
Yeah, no, not really. No.
How bizarre. But tell you what, if they like, comment, and subscribe to the Explorers of Elsewhere, may consider telling the real reason for my lack of armored legwear. Deal?
Yeah, sure.
Stop looking at them!
Welcome back. Hi.
It's good to be back.
Yes, it
Hello.
is. We just kind of phased out of existence for a short while there, but yeah, we managed to weave together the strands of fate, and now we're here to carry on playing. So,
That toilet is ruined. Don't. Don't.
good. Boom, boom, boom. Public service announcement. So,
Monetized.
we rejoin you once again on the road, and the sun is decidedly setting. The skies overhead, like the clouds in the skies overhead, highlight the beautiful kind of pink and orange hues of the sun, and who is probably Addie, who's most likely to be looking up and admiring, isn't it? Admiring the nature of it all. As you kind of look up at the clouds and try to picture, like you're I guess playing a game of like, what animal does that look most like?
They all look like owl bears.
Yeah. You notice a sound that maybe you've never heard it before. Maybe you have. But it's a loud cawing bird noise. And it's curious because the vast majority of the birds that you've seen kind of since have been kind of woodland creatures, but these birds look distinctly kind of bigger. They look a bit more rambunctious. They're white in colour, yellow bills, yellow beaks, grey tips on their wings, and like flipper feet. And you think, how curious that they have flipper feet. And as you say that, as you think that to yourself, Comstock, you kind of lean out because you can hear a commotion, and Frinker comes running back towards the caravan, having returning with post haste from a scouting mission. And as the caravan's kind of slow and stop Frinker just jumps straight into the lead caravan ahead of you, and you can hear a like saying something. Give me a perception check, Comstock.
Perception? It was an 8.
Okay. There's a you can't quite make out what she's saying, but she doesn't emerge from the front caravan. And the caravan, so obviously you're pretty much just following the cart in front of you, and it kind of, there's a bit of an uphill slope, and you can't really see what's happening either way. You can see some sort of like large kind of natural rock structures rising to the right of you, and a couple up. There's one up ahead, and the blue cart suddenly stops. And as you kind of veer your cart to the side and stop it, you look behind you to see that you can hear the guards like whoa, 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 and sort of like moving their carts, and the caravan just kind of splooges out at the sides as the carts kind of try to fit around each other and stop all of a sudden. And as you all kind of jump out of your various carriages, You hear a very peculiar sound. The sounds of the sea. And whose characters have lived anywhere coastal?
Big lake near Hugelstadt, but
So,
Yeah.
well, Glasmere, if it's a coastal city, you look up Milia as you step out, and you realise overhead are seabirds. Gulls and albatrosses and the like.
guard your ice creams, guard your donuts.
And Frinka, at this point, kind of jumps out the front carriage. And as you all kind of bundle out, the guards and the other caravaneers are getting a bit confused. Galena, you notice that there's all sorts of like these large, colourful mushrooms just kind of sprouting out of tree stumps and bushes that kind of scatter around. Some are in kind of bright yellow and orange hues. Some are a dusky grey blue. But Frinka comes out of the front carriage and she's going, but it doesn't make sense. The geography of this place means there's no way that this should be here. And Haladradis looks a bit concerned, and Davin's going, but I mean, it could be natural. I don't know. And the lot of you, as you kind of get to various vantage points, you realise that you are on a cliff. And you see, like, Frinka striding to the edge of this cliff. Is anyone joining her?
Yeah.
Victor will join.
Addie is definitely
No.
joining because Addie has never seen the sea before, and she's never seen seabirds, and she's absolutely transfixed. She's never seen that much water before.
So, Galena, you stay behind with Horse the bear. As everyone else, like Haladradis, kind of strides out with you. And sure enough, you stand on a cliff edge, and there's approximately a 200-foot sheer drop into the water below. And as you look left and right, you notice that you seem to be on a bit of a corner. So the sea stretches left to right in front of you, and then some way to the south of you, 120-ish feet to the south of you, wrapping around one of those large kind of rocky structures, the land just suddenly stops. And those of you that go to inspect it realise that this too is some sort of 200-foot drop. And Frinka is stood amongst you, like is imploring to Haladradis. I'm telling you, the geography of it, like, this should be a natural slope to the sea if it's supposed to be a coast. The fact that there is a sheer cut, this isn't right. I think, she says as she looks left and right, I think there used to be a landmass here, and it's gone.
Impressive.
We knew that stuff like this would exist due to the eschaton.
And she looks and how am I supposed to be able to scout if the world does not make sense?
The world doesn't make sense anymore, Frinka. It's kind of why we're out here.
You, like Victor, being an outdoorsman, like, you get closer to the edge than perhaps some of the others, and you immediately recognize that the nature of the cliffs down into the water below is very, very reminiscent of the mountain that you were not there. Comstock, you notice.
Went there.
You notice.
Remember, he was following us.
The sides of,
I was there, Dan.
That's a good point. Victor, yes, when you were following the caravan and noticed it going around the upper edge of a mountain, one side of it was almost kind of scooped out, and this seems very reminiscent. And with your perception, with your higher perception, you look down and notice that the sea doesn't have its normal kind of coastal rock formations. It's just like the world ends. But as you peer closer, you notice that there appears to be building wreckage under the water. And it's difficult to see with the sun kind of low enough that the light's just reflecting off the surface of the water.
Finka!
There's a point where you notice that
Look here!
you can see what looks like maybe it's a town under the water.
Finka! There! You see it or not? Under the water!
I think...
It's a building, right?
Did sea people live here?
Maybe. Quite possible. Or an artifact of the Escoton. I'm not sure.
It was probably flooded. It's probably like back in Glasmere. The sky became the sea, and the sea became the sky. Something the same probably happened here.
Haladradis' face is stony in its expression, and she looks to you, Milia, and this wasn't a flood. We're 200 feet above sea level, look. Definitively 200 feet above sea level. The land is gone. Whoever lived here has gone with it.
I just hope whoever was in those buildings got out in time.
Haladradis takes a deep breath and I'm sure they did. She kind of gives you a half-hearted kind of nod.
Now the buildings have been pointed out, do they look familiar?
The sloshing of the waves and the low reflective light, not particularly, but it looks like the ones that you can see have been submerged and ruined for, well, you would educatedly guess, have been submerged for a year.
Okay.
Can I try something?
That depends.
Can I call to one of the gulls, the birds milling around?
Yeah?
Oh no. You can just see what went through Dan's head, and I just know where this is going.
You can see the GM, I didn't plan this.
Oh no, you see he didn't plan it, but you know exactly what is going to happen.
You do speak with animals?
Yeah, I mean, does this come under my one with nature, can communicate simple ideas with smaller beasts?
Oh, I see.
If not, I can cast
small beasts. So that would let you be like, here, take some food, and those kind of simple ideas.
Okay.
If you wanted to talk, like actually communicate, then it'd be a speak with animals.
All right, let's do a speak with animals then. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Just turning down my headphones.
Oh no! I know what you mean. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be a seagull. I mean,
Okay.
out of myself as a Brightonian with just a fear of seagulls.
So you've noticed that there are a number of these plump white birds kind of circling overhead, and there's a proper noise every so often.
Prepare for Dog the Seagull to join the party.
But
Nope.
like one of them, you notice that there's this one that's just kind of sat on a rock nearby, and as you finish casting your spell and you're looking around, you just see the seagull, this bird, go and look to you. What?
Sorry? Say that again. My seagull is food.
Nom.
I've got food. I do indeed, and I'm going to hold up a good berry in my sort of finger and thumb.
While this is happening, the rest of you are all watching Addie go. And this plump white bird with a big long yellow bill and like grey tips on its wings and yellow flipper feet just kind of stands up and
Remember, seagulls are like velociraptors. They work in packs, people.
So it wings out and it just kind of skips, like half flaps towards you. And Addie, this bird flies at you and just like gets one of your fingers in its beak and it just eats this good berry.
I'm gonna keep hold of this good berry and sort of like grab the seagull by like, because I've got quite large hands, so I'm gonna just grab it by it, like pinning its wings down and push it off. I'm like, not yet, not yet. Wait, I have a question. I have questions for you first. Are you listening carefully?
It's
How
like
long-
it makes noises. It's flapping. Its feet are going.
How long have you been here? How many seasons?
Right,
I'm trying to think of like a bird. I want to basically. I'm trying to communicate the idea of
How many
like,
migrations?
yeah. How have you been here longer than a year?
Okay. The intelligence 2. Right, here we go.
Good luck.
No.
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 Do you want this berry? Do you want it? And I'm going to hold it close to the beak. But you're not having it until you give me an answer. How many migrations? Long time?
The gull looks to you and but for the first time. First time.
Five time.
First time.
Fourth. Five time.
First time.
Would that be like, would I know, is that like months, or because of the knowing like animals and birds, and would I get a sense of how long?
When we're not having to translate the seagull, the gull is saying first time.
Oh, first time.
Just
time.
a question. Is it only this one seagull can you hear, or can you now hear all the seagulls? Because that's gonna be cacophonous. I can hear all of them.
It's just the one, thank God.
Well,
okay,
it actually means every gull nearby can hear you and understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, Comstock, you've noticed, Comstock, Milia, Victor, you've noticed that there's just like a small troop, an ever-growing troop of white, plump birds that are just lining up on rocks nearby. Just.
My God, it's an ambush.
You know, I think they might eat her actually. Quite probable.
I'm gonna point to the ocean and ask, where is the next land? How many suns?
Wrong way. Wrong way. Many
Wrong
flaps.
way.
Many flaps.
Many flaps.
Ah.
But you can get there.
Ah.
Okay. Is
snapping at the berry.
See anyone there? Any like us? Over? No. People. Any people over there? On the other land?
Yeah.
Was that yes?
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Wiggle your foot if it's a yes. I can't understand this bloody bird.
It's a dialect. It's the accent. The bird, like the wings flap.
Okay. One more question. And I point either side of the the sort of cliff edge. Where does this cliff end? Where is a what do they call it? I don't know the ocean. Beach. Sand. Where is the nearest beach? Lowland. Not high, low. That way or that way?
Oh,
Told you you can have many berries. And I sort of reach back in, and this time I pull out like a little handful. Many berries,
Comstock,
but
Victor, Malia, you watch as the other goals.
Point the gun.
Addie!
many berries,
Yeah.
but answer first. Where is nearest lowland?
How do you put the berries back in your pocket?
Yeah, you notice some of the birds have taken
No,
off.
these are
and are starting
seabirds.
to,
They'll go after them.
starting
You
to
think they're
circle.
tasty or not?
The bird in your hand, the bird you've got, you're holding around the neck, looks to you and its eyes are almost bulging out of its head as you ask this question about the lowland. And it can't answer the question because it doesn't understand it. To the point, Addie, that you think maybe there isn't a beach.
Maybe they dumb.
Maybe it's all like this. Wherever these birds have been, it's like someone took a knife and carved a chunk of land out and discarded it, leaving a sheer 200-foot drop.
Okay. I think with that I've got... Oh.
And the thought of the implications of that are kind of worrying.
Okay. I sort of look around me and notice the rest of the sort of flock of seagulls
It's just shadows. Circling
closing
over.
in. And I say, "Good job, buddy. Now go get your berries," and I fling them over the side of the cliff.
Okay.
And then
with
release
an
the...
explosion of feathers, all of these birds fly off of their perches, and they're just batting each other, slapping each other with their feet, and biting each other as they chase after these berries. And you all watch as 30-odd seagulls descend on this handful of 3 or 4 berries, and you'll watch as bloop, 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 the 4 berries hit the surface and sink, and the gulls are have to abort last minute. And because you can understand them, Addie, from 200 feet down, you just hear, "Fuck!"
I'm just going to turn to the others and be like, I was always brought up, to respect and revere nature and all of the creatures within it, but those bloody birds are the worst.
Seabirds are very stupid. I used to do that with peas. Just throw them in.
You used to talk to peas? You're a very strange girl.
No.
So,
No.
whilst this is happening, back in the camp, Galena.
Yeah, I will also speak with animals, although not the spell, just the concept. And I'll just sidle up to Horse and be like, "Do you reckon she's finally cracked?" Just watching her in the distance, with this seagull, go, "Wow!"
The bear looks to you, its nostrils flare as and it kind of blows your cloak up a little bit, and then you hear a loud grumbling from its stomach because it's sat on its haunches, and it just looks at you for a moment. Just kind of licks its lips.
Probably be too tough for you, lad.
And it turns, looks at the bush to its left, and the horse just rips off the berries. Just you see thorns and sharp branches, but he starts chewing on the berries, and just starts busying himself. Galena, whilst this is all happening,
Yeah.
an 11, eh? Roll me a perception check.
That sounds fine.
10.
I'm averagely perceptive.
You're averagely perceptive. In which case, as you're kind of looking at Horse the bear and despairing slightly as it just, because it's got a thorn stuck out of its gum.
Oh, bear.
You don't notice it until you feel the wind buffet you as something swoops overhead and there is a deafening
Oh, not this thing.
and you look up and you don't know where the roars come from, but you immediately recognize what that roar is from.
Your day.
So, and as everyone else on the cliff edge, you hear it as well. So, if I could, please get you all to roll initiative.
No.
Wait.
Oh
Yeah.
no. That's really
Wait.
bad. A 6.
9.
Ooh, 17.
5.
16.
Thank you.
And the bear. Okay. Cool. So, as this happens, you see Haladradis at the top of the turn. Haladradis turns around to hear the roar. And like you see her frantically scanning the skies, and she bellows out to the nearby guards. Has anyone got eyes on it? And like you see the guards also kind of scanning around, and she curses in Majani and begins running towards the center of the camp, like towards Davin, and she tells him to, like, you hear her shout, "Get back in the carriage!" She shouts, and he. Next, the guards begin kind of rushing to like defensive positions, like using the sides of the caravans to protect themselves from, because they know it's an aerial attack, so they rush, to caravan sides to protect themselves as best they can against the oncoming thing. You hear the horses kind of neighing and whinnying in panic as they seemingly sense something. Okay, Victor, what do you do?
Can I see the creature?
Uh,
If I go on top of these rocks here, like, I don't know, that's what, 30 feet of movement maybe to get up. There we go.
Okay, so as you clamber up onto the rocks, give me
Got it
a
ready.
perception check.
Actions, no attributes.
Well, you can't see it. The perception check will be an action.
I guess. Okay, that's fine. I will normal roll 23.
23. You can hear a flapping, like there's like from the swishing of nearby trees. It seems like it's in this direction from you, so it's over to the west of you.
But I don't see anything.
You don't see it, but you kind of sense it's in that direction.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Frinka, what is it there? And she sprints. She sprints to the lead cart, and you see her kind of leap up onto its roof, like clamber up onto its roof as part of her dash. And like she drops and kind of draws a bow, and you see her scanning the sky. Milia.
I'm just gonna shout, get away from the side of the cliff. It can pick up horses like it's nothing. And I'm gonna full dash into the middle.
Okay. So that'll get you to Davin and Haladradis. Okay. You
Padlock out, just...
Okay, in which case, as you kind of run in, you hear another bellowing roar, and Galena, you're frantically looking around, wondering what is happening. And you watch as the guard stood next to you with advantage.
Oh boy.
Here's a hit.
Uh-oh.
You watch as the guard in front of you is hit by, like, you feel something swoop over your head. Horse or bear like makes a noise. And you watch as this guard is just, something collides into him and throws him back into the carriage with enough force that the carriage rocks. And you feel something kind of immediately behind you.
Sweet.
Like there's a of dust as something has landed.
Okay. Whereabouts is it? Can you just give me a little ping?
So you have a feeling it's by the tree stump.
Okay, sort of here-ish.
Mm.
Cool. Okay. So I will immediately go into a little quick pouch that I have for easy access. Okay. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And fling a glass orb directly at the tree stump that will shatter into little pretty sparkles of fairy fire.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh.
Nice.
So, each object in a 20-foot cube will be outlined in... let's go with green sparkles. That sounds nice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw.
Mm-hmm. Yep, if you pop it up, I'll do your dex save.
Yeah.
Okay, no need for the measure template because...
balls.
Passes.
Darn it.
So, you throw, as you go to throw the orb, like, so what is it held in? Like a little vial, like around...
It's a glass sphere, basically.
Okay, in which case, you throw the sphere, it arcs, and then it seemingly bounces off something and is knocked away. And it kind of pings off into the background, shatters on some bushes, and the bushes like light up bright green.
Well, good luck. Can I scurry under the cart?
You can.
I shall do so.
Okay. As you do, you
This is very rude.
you feel something rake across your back. 25 to hit, and you take 10 slashing damage.
Nice.
Shit. Okay.
And is there anything else you're doing on your turn?
How's that guard looking?
He's heavily winded. You've noticed that he seems to have puncture marks in his... he's got a puncture mark in his chest.
That seems unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, that'll do. Not much I can do to help him, unfortunately.
Okay. In which case, as you look at the guard and wonder, how is he doing? You hear something fly out towards the guard, but it doesn't seem to connect. Like the guard manages to wiggle out the way. And there's you hear a snort, like an angry snort. Addie, what do you do?
Am I a little bit too far away to really see what's going on? I think I am.
Well, you can hear a big commotion on the other side of the carts that you and Milia were in.
Can I also do a full dash?
You can, yes. That'll get you to the party with Halidradis and Milia and Davin.
I will do that, please.
Okay.
And can I when I get there, do I still have a bonus action?
You would, yes.
Cool. When I get there, can I look to Milia and place a hand on her shoulder and just say, just remember you're braver than you think, and give her some bardic inspiration.
Oh.
Yay! Okay, Milia, you feel yourself inspired by Addie's words. Anything else?
A D4?
D6.
D6.
Oh.
Anything else, Addie?
Nope.
Okay.
Don't got anything else.
In which case, Milia, you can see you can just about see the two goblins kind of like hiding behind one of the carts, like the supply cart that they were in earlier. And you see the two twins kind of look to each other and and you watch as Nock disappears inside. Comstock,
Okay.
what do you do?
So Comstock's going to sort of like get up onto the rock. Paladranus! Milia! Addie! Light it up as it comes past! And he gets his shield up, gets his sword, and starts bashing against the sword, trying to taunt the beast.
Okay. Roll me an intimidation check.
That will be 22.
Ooh.
Oh, very, very good. In which case, Galena, you can hear the sound of Comstock's shield, like Comstock bang, 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 like smacking his shield like a bell, and you see the guard that's been wounded, buffeted back a bit, and there's a huge as something lifts off the ground. Anything else, Comstock?
So would that have been an action?
It would have, yes.
In that case, then I don't think I have anything I can do really with my bonus actions for now. So no, I think I am okay for now.
Okay. Next up is Bok. Milia, you've seen that Nock went inside the car, and you see Bok climb up the top. And he like bangs his foot on the top of the roof. The bear goes to like Galena. You see horse kind of take a few steps forward and sort of like swipe and just swing at air and looks a bit confused. Haladradis, you see her kind of looking around frantically, and I told you to go inside, she shouts at Davin, and he runs in and begins hiding. And you see her kind of draw, like she prepares herself, she's looking at the sky, and then she grabs her book and begins intoning words from it, and as she does, you notice the orb on the top of her staff starting to go like a magenta in colour, as runes start to rotate around it. She seems to be preparing a spell, and she says to kind of no one in particular, "Keep your eyes open for it." The guards begin frantically making perception checks.
Look for an invisible shimmer in the sky, like a heat wave.
Fails. He's wounded. He won't take one. She. So the next one, perception, disadvantage, fails. "We can't say it!" shouts one of the guards. Let's do a third one for good measure. So the Milia, the guard on the other side of the four horses to you, she shouts, "There! I think I say it!" she says, pointing up, and it's in a she's pointing over Horse the bear's head. Victor, what do you do?
Okay, so the creature is invisible, but we can still know its location from sound and...
Yes.
So I'll just take a shot at it with disadvantage.
Okay, yes, because one of the guards are kind of pointed in its rough direction.
Yeah.
With disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Attack. Disadvantage. Go 17 to hit.
You aim, like, you're not used to just firing into blank space, but like you're kind of gauging where this woman's pointing.
You guys good. Pull!
Roll for damage.
Nice. Go. 8 points of damage.
8 damage. Okay. So the creature rocks as you see your bullet hit something and disappear. And there's a small kind of splat that then kind of covers over with kind of invisibilityness again. But
what the fuck is that, Dan?
The creature is wounded, but otherwise unfazed.
Level 26. What the fuck? Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. Frinka, having also seen where the guard is pointed, will take a shot with her longbow. But the arrow...
While she's up there, if I might go, please get down, don't make yourself a target.
She says, I can't shoot if I'm hiding. And she will multi-attack and fire a second shot. But that also misses. It doesn't hit anything. You hear her swear in Wolfkin. And she thinks about it and then kind of rolls off the top of the carriage down onto the ground.
Thank you.
Davin is hiding in the carriage. Millie, what do you do?
I'm just gonna... It's screaming against Milia's inner judgment, but she's just gonna turn to Haladradis, put a hand on her shoulder, and just go, we've got this. And I'm gonna cast Bless on Haladradis, Comstock, and Frinka.
And Frinka. Okay.
Thank you.
Frinka. So Comstock, you feel that kind of warmth kind of emanating, like glowing in your chest. As kind of light exudes from it's like an aurora borealis kind of effects that's swishing around them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. In which case, after Milia, you all hear a whooshing overhead, and Victor.
Yes. Ooh.
A globule of acid fires out towards you, but you manage to jump out of the way, and it strikes the rock, and you watch as the rock that you were stood on starts to bubble and melt away.
Nice try, pigeon!
Galena.
Right, okay. Pulling another one out of the pouch. Gonna
scramble out from under the
Scrambling out from under the caravan, nestle myself amongst these horses. Do I have a bead on it?
You just... So yeah, you would have seen this globule of acid fire out from a point in the sky.
Okay. Second time's a charm. I will shake up another globule, pop it in my little crossbow, and ping. So yeah, I'll use Fairy Fire again. As the globe explodes in midair. But is it close enough?
So...
Oh, come on. Come on.
It's...
Yeah!
Yes!
So Galena, you track it and you... And like a well-armed cricket player, this orb flies through the air, and distracted, it smashes. You see it smash and kind of coat something.
Fantastic news.
And it highlights its invisible
So it
form.
should now be beautifully glittering.
So you see something in the sky over above. So there's the glittery liquid kind of coats over it in the patches, but it's kind of adhered. It's glowing and you can see it, but the rest of it is still like see-through. So it's like, you know, almost like coloured glass, if you will. But you can certainly see a shape. You can see where it is.
Got it.
As you, is there anything else you're doing, Galena?
No, just feeling smug.
Okay. As you throw that, the creature sort of like spins in the air, and with you notice that it's got kind of these large wings. It looks, the size of it, it looks larger than a horse. And it's difficult to make out some of the bits of it because it's just kind of almost like outline just kind of waving around. But you do see these kind of powerful wings like billow it up into the air a little bit. And you see it look in your direction, Galena, and then it soars overhead towards Bok on the top of the coach. Addie, what do you do?
I am going to take my sort of spear staff, and I'm going to sort of half cup a hand to the end of it and start whispering into it, and then release with my hands a sort of array of ghostly moths towards the creature and cast dissonant whispers.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, indeed. So that's a saving throw, DC 14 wisdom.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, it's wise.
Flying colours.
Flying colours. Roll the damage because it will take half.
So that's 3.
So 3 damage. Okay. And as you cast that spell, it doesn't seem to give the hold that you were hoping for, but it passes a concentration save. Okay. Anything else, Addie?
No, not at this point.
Okay. In which case, at the end of your turn, you see what appears to be this long, like, tail on the back of it. The creature flies towards the cart, and you see Bok like looking up, just as what appears to be this large ballista-esque crossbow gets pushed up through the roof of the carriage, and you hear Nock go, "There you go!" But this tail lashes out and wraps around Bok as he no, and Bok is wrenched up off the top of the carriage and smacks his head on the ballista as he goes. And it appears that Bok is now unconscious. You watch as this glowing tail kind of wraps around the goblin. You hear Nock going, "Have you got it? Have you got it?" Comstock, what do you do?
Just a question, Dan. Like, how high up is this thing in the grand scheme of things? If it can directly attack Bok,
it is now. So it's like 15, 20 feet above the ground. 15 feet. It's 15 feet above the ground.
Would it be reachable on horseback?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Arguably so.
Arguably.
Some dope shit's about to happen.
I hope so. So 5.
It's gonna jump on the back of the bear.
15, 20. Now I have a feat called Born in the Saddle, which means mounting and dismounting only takes me 5 feet of movement, which then puts me at 30.
Yeah.
It should put me right next to it. So as he sort of, imagine Comstock runs on much faster than everyone expects him to be, and then with almost just like an unusual grace, he manages to like hop over like the horse. It bows its head. He sort of like pulls himself over it, and he's like, "I see you now, you bitch." As he swings with his longsword.
So it would just be a normal attack because it's
Of
still
course, yeah.
invisible. But
18.
Well-
that is a hit.
But it can't
Is-
benefit from being invisible, right? Because of fairy
Yeah.
fire.
Oh, okay. In which case, it's advantage.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll roll again just in case. 21
21. That's it. 20. Yes, that is a hit.
21.
for 9 damage.
Nice.
Okay.
And then why not? Second wind. That's not second wind. Sorry, not second wind. Action surge.
Okay. It passes its concentration check.
Action surge, and I will swing for it again. You said with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Yo! Let's go!
Okay.
Nice.
Let's do
Got a
it
big old crit on it.
for 17
Nice.
damage.
Ooh, that's
As Comstock
spicy.
slashes and then comes back and just rakes it along the middle. I imagine.
Okay.
While now
17.
sitting on a horse backwards.
Okay.
Also, you have slasher feet.
I do have the slasher feet. Thank you
That
for
matters.
reminding me. Yes. Slasher.
That do.
When I hit a creature with slashing damage, I can reduce the target's speed by 10 feet until the start of the turn. If I score a critical hit, that's slashing damage, so the target has disadvantage on all attacks till the start of my next turn.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me that one, Tim.
Oh, my pleasure.
Nice.
Oh, why not? Do you know what? Let's just go. Let's go for everything. Let's keep this. Let's keep. Can I do Cavalier's Mark? It's a bonus action. I already. But oh no, wait! I haven't used a bonus action because Action Surge is special. Unwavering Mark. The creature has disadvantage on any attack that doesn't target me.
Okay.
So it basically has advantage on everything. Yeah.
On everyone but me.
No, everything.
Cool.
Everything.
Slasher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Slasher until the start of my next turn, and then after that, Unwavering Mark. It's everyone but me.
In which case, as you run and leap onto the you vault onto the back of this horse, and as you do, you put 2 cuts across its flank. You see gouges of red kind of slide across the where you assume this creature's flank is based on the outline of the purple glow, and you are rewarded with a pained roar from the creature. Anything else, Comstock?
I think I've done more than enough. Don't you think?
I think that's literally everything you can possibly do.
I can, yeah.
In which
Galena's
case,
just like soaked in blood, and she's like, "Yeah!"
Bathing as it falls down like little vial. Just
you watch as Bok and the creature at the end of your turn soar 35, an additional 35 feet up to be 50 feet in the air, so you get a opportunity attack if you so wish.
I will happily have an opportunity attack. Advantage still, so 21
That's a hit.
for 11 damage.
Speed's also reduced by 10 foot.
Yeah. And it takes 11 damage and makes another concentration check. So, Comstock, as you slash at it, you get a grievous wound on it. It roars, sort of like turns to look to you, and you see 6 glowing shapes, like glowing lights, roughly kind of in a line. But now that you see the outline, it dawns on you that those are eyes. And as you thrust at it a third time as it soars up, something happens, and you watch as the space between the glow of the fairy fire of Galena's kind of glowing ooze begins to fill out with what appears to be this thick, rugged brown fur. You see what appears to be an avian-like claw on its front leg just kind of begin to materialize, and you see something that does not
Oh my.
make sense.
Oh.
It's a deer fly clock.
It's an owl stag snake, like the
Oh,
owl
stag
bear's
snake.
distant cousin.
Like that elf stack snake. Yep.
So,
Official name now. Official name.
it's got the body of what you would assume to be like a mountain lion or something feline. It's got the front legs of a. It's got avian front claws. It's got these big, billowing, feathered wings. But it also has 3 heads. The one closest to you is that of an elk's head. And behind it, to the elk's head's right, is an owl head, and to the back left is a snake head.
That is terrifying.
Oh,
kill it, kill it.
Thanks. I hate
kill it with fire.
Why
All
is
the
it so
fire.
3D?
And it is now, it sort of like, it has Bok wrapped in this what looks to be like this long, slender, kind of reptilian-esque tail, and he's just kind of coiled up 50 foot in the air. On his turn, Bok makes a death save.
Shit.
No.
Oh, private dice, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck this shit.
Horse, the bear, just looks up and like roars angrily, and Haladradis at this point smiles and got you, and she releases the spell that she was casting as she slams magic missiles into the beast.
Solid.
And the beast takes 16 damage.
Shit.
As she does that, with another roar, the creature takes a shift and begins to fly away. So how long does the 10-foot speed reduction last?
Until the start of my turn.
Okay. It begins to make off with its goblin prize. The guards, of which there are 8, I believe, don't have crossbows.
So who's responsible for them? Who has
I think
not
it was the
given them?
Who's
Who has
military
not
captain of
given
the
them?
guard?
Well, it was originally Haladranis. Like I've only
Well,
recently taken
I
a
don't
field
know, but-
promotion.
Well, yeah,
New
it's been a
management
while.
came in, took away the crossbows.
Uh-huh.
You know,
You want to mix things up.
budget cuts and all that. I'm gonna
Victor.
shoot the thing.
Yeah,
Attack.
With
with
advantage,
advantage.
it's still
Yeah,
verified.
27. Does it hit?
That's a hit.
They're like,
Come
oh, we're selling your
on.
crossbows for pizza
Come on.
parties.
8 points of damage.
Okay, it takes 8 damage. As you put a,
Neil shoot.
put a sort of like a purple crystalline shot through it,
Yep.
and it kind of recoils from the blow. Frinka makes 2 shots with her longbow.
Finka! How come you make 2 shots and I do 1 shot?
Because I'm better than you, she shouts.
Doesn't seem so.
But she, the thing does an alien roll and spins round, and the arrows whiz past it.
I think you missed twice as much.
You hear a voice from the carriage going, "Is it over yet?" Millie, what do you do? Sorry, at the end of Davin's turn, it will use another legendary action to move another 40 feet. Yeah, Melia, what do you do?
Panicking. Just look up and
Do your thing. Do your thing.
what would you do? What would you do?
Use the book.
No.
Break the seal.
Absolutely not. Do you want another
Unleash the-
eschaton?
Unleash the power.
Anything like super long range you can help the little goblin out with?
Nope.
Yeah, firebolt. Crit it.
Double crit again. You can do
Yeah.
it.
Oh, we
Yeah.
believe it.
Step forward, padlock back on my sash, same golden dagger out, point, and fire again.
If you crit, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Let's find out.
Okay, roll to hit.
No.
That is a
18
hit.
though.
There's a hit there.
3 fire damage.
for 3 fire damage. And so you watch as your divine flare fly towards this creature. As it impacts into it and the fire kind of bursts out, you watch as the flame gets absorbed into it. It seems to have been wounded, but it seems to have absorbed it.
Barker.
Oh.
Okay. Some kind of fire. It didn't.
Right. Anything else, Milia?
That's it.
Okay. In which case, at the end of your turn, it will use its third legendary action to move 40 foot. And on its turn, it will then dash 80 foot. At this point, Haladrar, like watching this thing fly off into the distance, Haladrar kind of looks around, and sort of like while through all the commotion, you see a head pop up from the nearby cart, and Nock is kind of look around and where's Bok? Wait. Haladradis looks up to the goblin, looks to you, kind of gathered around her, and she swears, and she like swings her hand up, and this ghostly hand emerges from her palm, and the hand like flies across and unhooks a number of the bridles on the horses, and she leaps onto the back of one of the horses. Turns, there are a number of horses just kind of loose now. She looks to you and, are you coming with me or not? She says. As she kind of gestures to the horses. She looks to you, Galena, and perhaps these are too big for you. And then she looks to you, Addie, and perhaps they're too small for you. But Galena, as she says that, you hear a whinny from one of the other nearby carts, and that's the one that's been pulled by the Shetland ponies.
Hey.
I respond, I don't need it, and immediately change shape into a
Before you do,
elk.
as you say, I don't need it, you also hear a ursine roar from Horse the bear, as it like roars
You have
after
a mount.
the creature.
Okay, I jump on the bear.
Yay!
And in which case, as you all kind of mount up, she shouts to Frinka.
I'll probably rather than ponying it, because I don't have much faith in their speed, I'll see if Comstock's happy just swinging me up onto the back of his.
Yeah, I imagine
Sure.
like before you even get there, Comstock's like, Galena?
Okay,
Sweet.
so in which
I'll
case,
do the like the Legolas thing where I'm like, whoo, and swing around the whole thing.
Dim
Somehow.
I feel like we may be turning out of initiative. But
Well-
Victor still has a few more shots left at high range. I see on the weapon it says 200 feet. So maybe I have one shot left?
Which obviously with the fairy fire
Well-
that will negate the disadvantage.
yeah, okay, you can make your final shot.
Okay.
As she shouts to you because there's a horse spare for you, Victor.
Yeah. Oh, I can't do that now. Can I do that? Sorry, I'm just checking if there's a range on Hunter's Mark.
So, well, as an aside, at the end of its turn, it's 185 foot. It's at 200 feet. You get one last shot at 200 feet.
Okay, it's 90 foot for Hunter's Mark. Okay, just one shot. Do it.
Okay.
Big crit.
Be nice. Normal roll. Attack. Normal. 17 to hit.
That's a hit.
Oh,
2
tag it.
damage. Normal. 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Okay.
You could just imagine that in a cinematic, just like following along, just going out range, and then just.
Yes, and you watch as this magic shot flies through the air and like strikes the creature in the back.
Is Victor the kind of person he'd take the shot and then just like walk away? It's like, do you even know if he hit it? Oh, I hit it.
In which case, one of the horses is brought round for you, Victor. Are you mounting up?
Yeah, mine up.
Brill. In which case, Halajardis looks to you and, she looks to you, Comstock, and do you approve? She says.
Let's get our man back.
In which case, as you all begin chasing, as you burst out of the parked kind of caravan carriages and begin chasing after the creature, we'll call it there.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh.
Save Bok.
Ooh.
Save Bok and or knock. I haven't learnt to tell them apart yet.
Hashtag save Bok or knock, yeah. Love it.
Congratulations, everyone,
I'm leveling up.
on completing session 6.
Oh, one day. One day.
Hooray.
Nice.
You did it! Hooray! Go you! So
Yeah.
that's it. That's it. Nothing
Right.
more to say, really.
I'm sure glad that nothing is happening anywhere else.
Elsewhere, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah. All the
Anything
rest
else?
of Elsewhere is just perfect, you know. Everything's, sunshine and rainbows, and everyone's skipping along gaily, and
Yeah.
it's lovely.
There's
Oh.
literally, there's nothing to be worried
This
about.
is an owl snake deer. This is what it is, right?
It's an owl elk snake.
Could you just not
Oh.
not settle on what monster that you wanted? So you just thought, "Okay, I'll just choose all three and just slap them together."
Threw the monster's guide into a blender and just picked out 3 pieces of paper. Like,
Went
got
for
an
the snout.
elk, owl, snake.
Aerolith.
Basically. So, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, then you should 100% hit the like button and leave some comments down below detailing in vague detail what exactly it is you enjoyed. We've got loads of other stuff, so you can click on one of those videos, and you should subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications, because we just upload stuff all the time, and you just
True.
wouldn't want to miss out, would you?
Also true.
So, with that said, thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you, Dim, then.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Save.
Yeah.
Hot on the heels of the mysterious creature, our explorers race to save the dying goblin Bok from a gruesome fate. Backed up by the wizard Haladradis, will they manage to catch the monster and bring its tyranny to an end? Come back next time to find out. Thanks very much for watching. We really appreciate your support, and it gives us the confidence to keep going. We're also incredibly honoured to have amazing creators such as Birdie Maps helping us out with their beautiful maps. Head over to the Birdie Maps Patreon if you want to see more of their stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and comment down below. We post lots of videos regularly, one of which you can watch here, so it's best to subscribe here as well as hitting the bell icon to keep up to date with our new releases. So, with all that said, thank you once again. Stay safe, and as always, keep exploring.